The HP Envy X360 15 sits right in the sweet spot between the lower-end HP Pavilion X360 and the more premium HP Spectre X360 2-in-1 laptops in price, performance and specs, but it isn't some undercard contender. The HP Envy X360 15, 2021 is one of the best 2-in-1 laptops of the year, even if it isn't the best choice for everybody. The HP Envy X360 15, 2021 is well built, but there's nothing especially striking about the design. It is an HP laptop, after all, but it looks decent enough. The touchscreen display, on the other hand, is fantastic, even if it isn't a fancy 4K OLED. With up to 400 nits of brightness, the HP Envy X360 15, 2021 looks great inside and outdoors sitting at a coffee shop or, we imagine, on a work site. Using the Envy X360 15 in tablet mode isn't the most natural feeling experience you can get with a 2-in-1. You can flip the screen on some hybrid laptops and feel like you're holding an iPad running Windows 10, but the HP Envy X360 15, 2021 is not that kind of laptop. It will never really let you forget what it is, and the Windows 10 tablet mode itself ran just fine. The laptop's weight and noticeable bulk when being used as a tablet might put some people off. The HP Envy X360 15 truly shines in its performance, though, making the most of its powerful Zen 3 Ryzen CPU and absolutely running away with the 2-in-1 crown in nearly all of our benchmark tests. The Radeon GPU-equipped Envy X360 15 outperforms its rivals running Intel Iris A, and in some cases by a substantial margin. Where things were closer, the Envy X360 15 still came out on top, and while its battery life isn't the absolute best we've seen recently, it's definitely high up on the leaderboard if not on the actual podium. So, the HP Envy X360 15, 2021 is already one of the best HP laptops we've seen this year, but when you factor in the incredible price-to-performance ratio, you've got one of the best values for a 2-in-1 laptop going. The HP Envy X360 15, 2021 is available now with both Intel Tiger Lake and AMD Zen 3 mobile processors. There are lots of configuration options on HP's site to better customize it to your needs, but the starting configuration for the AMD models, which only have the option for the 15.6-inch, Full HD, 1080p, WLED display, some with only 250 nits of brightness, features an AMD Ryzen 5 5500U processor with Radeon graphics, 8GB RAM, and 256GB PCIe SSD storage for just $659. The base model for the UK, starting at £850, features a larger 512GB PCIe SSD, but a last-gen AMD Ryzen 5 4500U processor, which will have lower multi-core performance than the 5500U upgrade if you have the option and the budget for it. Australia's base model uses the same Ryzen 5 4500U CPU as the UK model, but comes with 16GB RAM instead of 8GB and sticks with the smaller 256GB PCIe SSD, starting at $1,999 Australian dollars. The configuration we tested here at TechRadar, meanwhile, sells for $999 in the US and isn't available in either the UK or Australia, though you can buy an Australian model very similar in specs to the one we tested, only with a Ryzen 7 4700U, for $2,499 Australian dollars. As we said earlier, the HP Envy X360 15, 2021 is an HP laptop aimed toward the more professional, enterprise crowd, so it doesn't take a whole lot of risks with its design. Still, the design is well built with an aluminum alloy chassis that helps it feel sturdy, if heavy, and a more attractive darker metal tone than the HP Envy X360 15's Intel models. The HP Envy X360 15, 2021 is also a bit beefier than some other 2-in-1s. It's 0.72 inches / 18.28 millimeters thick and weighing in at 4.11 pounds / 1.86 kilos. So it's definitely not the most portable 2-in-1 we've seen, but it's not the worst offender in this regard either. We're talking about integrated graphics here, so the HP Envy X360 15, 2021, isn't loaded up on heat vents, and the small air intake grill on the bottom didn't get noticeably warm while we used it over a couple of weeks. The downward firing speakers are a perennial complaint, but at least here they aren't the only speakers. The keyboard deck manages to squeeze in 2 additional top-firing speakers on either side of the keyboard, which does help with the Envy X360 15th sound quality, though it's still a 2-in-1 laptop speaker system. It'll fill a living room with the swords, use future, while you're cleaning up without much trouble or handle video conference calls, but it's going to get easily drowned out by a vacuum cleaner. Those 2 speakers do squeeze the keyboard itself somewhat, but we still found it comfortable to type on since 95% of the keys we use most often aren't really affected. It's the home key, the page up key, and the like that have to get moved around a bit on the side to accommodate the smaller space. The keys themselves are comfortable to type on and have good travel, while the trackpad is decent enough, but nothing particularly special. On the bright side, there are a good number of ports, including an SD card slot, 2 USB Type-C ports, and an HDMI out port. There's no dock stylus though, which is a shame. The laptop is thick enough for a 2-in-1 that it could definitely fit one in somewhere. Our review unit didn't come with a stylus, but other models online bundle an HP rechargeable MPP 2.0 tilt pen with purchase of even the base models, so while that's definitely better than not having it, you will still have to keep track of the stylus yourself.